Well, hey, you're watching another episode of Wired Up Retro, and today this is basically a continuation video of the one I did a couple of episodes back on the Tron joystick. And this is basically a do-it-yourself project that I did with a monitor stand. And I don't know if you've watched that video, but I'll put a link in the description so you can head over and check that out. This do-it-yourself project was kind of a major undertaking for me. I'd never done anything like this before. But it all came together really nicely, and I show you how to put it together using arcade one-up products that are made by a fellow YouTuber, Glen. He has his own YouTube channel here. So if you check out his products and put them all together, it just makes a wonderful arcade controller. So today's episode is just going a little further into showing what games you can play with it. It's not only PC compatible, and of course on PC I was showing games like Tempest and Battlezone, but there are also, there's Tron, the game from 1982. Why not play that? We're going to give that a try today. And there might be a couple other PC games that I want to show, and just briefly show options for that PC that you have at home, emulators. All right, so also it works on PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 3 has games like Tron Evolution. I might give this a try on my Tron stick, so we'll see. If Tron Evolution is actually a two-joystick game, with the thumbsticks, and this is only a one thumbstick controller. This is it. It's not a thumbstick, it's a big old joystick, but it does represent the left stick on your PlayStation 3 controller, and for any game that just uses that thumbstick, this is going to work just fine. Also on board, I just want to mention, on board I've got the start button, and then this is the select button. In the middle we've got this the home button, which is nice. This trigger is the square, and I have X and triangle and circle over here, but one of these buttons, this one right here, actually doesn't represent square, it represents mode button, okay? And the reason I have a mode button is if your game is going to use the D-pad, you can have it in that mode, and this moving the stick around will represent that. But if your game doesn't use D-pad, but it uses that left thumbstick, you press the mode button again, and this now becomes not D-pad control, but thumbstick control for left, right, up, and down. Now, this is not an analog stick. So in a game, let's say you're playing a PlayStation 3 game called Ace Combat Assault Horizon, that particular game, you're going to kind of want to have an analog stick. And this is kind of designed for the old school games. You can play the game, but is it going to be quite as good? Maybe it could be more challenging. Hey, if you want to really up the challenge in your game and play it with a digital stick, it actually works just fine. And all the buttons are present and accounted for. You got L1 and R1, L2 and R2. Everything you need is here. Now, the games you're going to be playing on the PlayStation 3 aren't going to involve the trackball or the spinner. But there are ways to get those working on a PS3, and it involves using a keyboard/mouse adapter. So these are available. There are different products made by different companies. Some are superior to others. You can even use old PlayStation 2 keyboard mouse adapters and then use a PS2 to PS3 adapter to get them adapted, and that can work as well. Is that going to be something we're going to try in this episode? Probably not, but I just thought I'd mention it. If you have one of these and you want to give it a try, go for it. Although I will mention you'll end up using that keyboard to do the firing because that is where your mouse buttons will be if you use one of those adapters. None of these buttons, I don't think, can be utilized that way because these are not mouse buttons, okay? But anyway, if you have one of those adapters and you don't mind using a keyboard to hit fire and you're rolling away on your trackball, it's going to be good control. I have definitely found that this trackball is just phenomenal for playing games. So is the spinner, it really is. So, okay, another thing. PlayStation 3 games are fun, but PlayStation 1 games, especially if you're into classic games like me, are even better. And let me show you a few examples. Raiden Project. Why not, right? It works in a PS3. It's a PS1 game. There's the new rendition of Space Invaders. A whole lot of fun to be had. This joystick will work great with it. There's Q*bert. There's also Konami arcade classics. It has some really fun games on board like Scramble and Super Cobra and Poo Yan. These are all, Gyrus is on there. Gee, Time Pilot, a lot of great games on that disc. This is Midway Presents Arcade Greatest Hits, the Midway Collection 2, which has Spy Hunter, and it has a couple others like Joust 2, there's a few others, Tapper. Anyway, it could be a lot of fun to play that. This is Midway Presents Arcade Greatest Hits, the Atari Collection 1, has Asteroids on board, it's got Breakout, Battlezone, and Tempest. Could be a whole lot of fun in a PS3 to play that. And then, of course, I've got the Namco Museum. This is Volume 1, and all sorts of games to be played on that, including Pac-Man. This one is the Volume 3. This one has Dig Dug, Galaxian, Miss Pac-Man. Looks like Pole Position 2 and Fozon are on that. And then on the Namco Museum Volume 2, this is a little harder to find. It's got Mappy on board, and Xevious will be fun to play with this as well. So, yeah, all sorts of awesome games. You can even go back to the standard PlayStation 1 games like Top Gun Fire at Will, which I believe was just exclusively for digital D-pad control. So this is going to work fine for that. Same with Warhawk for the PS1. So you could have a lot of fun there. Also, if you use a PS3 to PS4 controller adapter, aka maybe the Cronus Max Plus, and there's a couple others out there. One's made by Brook. And you could actually play PS4 games that are classics, such as the Flashback Classics Volume 2 disc, which I have here. And this has a number of good classic video games on it, so you could give it a try and enjoy some of those on the PlayStation 4. And there are probably a number of others. Also, the Xbox 360 can be a whole lot of fun. If you have an Xbox 360 adapter that lets you use PS3 controllers, which I have, on this episode, or possibly a future one, I'll be showing off a couple of games on the Xbox 360 as well. So we have some excitement today planned for you, so I hope you enjoy the episode. I'm going to show off the Tron arcade stick. Let's have some fun. Well, all right, we've got 1982 Tron up on the screen. I'm going to be playing this on my laptop. We've got it in an emulator called MAME, and it works with both the spinner and the joystick, or you can use a trackball and the joystick if you choose to. Now, if you have an Xbox 360 with Xbox Live Arcade, you can download that game, Tron, and play it with your Xbox 360 controller using both of these sticks. You won't be able to use this because the spinner and sticks won't work simultaneously like it will on MAME. But anyway, I like to support the developer, and throwing $4 their way, I think, keeps these kind of things rolling. So let's play the game. We'll see how good I can do. All right, wish me luck. All right. Here we go. Ah. So close. Keep trying. All right, up we go. Tanks. Oh boy. Got him once. All right, made it through the tank level by the seat of my pants. All right, onwards. Okay, light cycles. Just have to be accurate. Okay, try again. All right, took care of him on that one. Next level is going to be a whole lot more difficult. Ah. All right, I'm now beating all 4 levels, at least as a beginner. I did okay. Now this is going to be impossible. Ah. All right, so you get the idea. It ramps up the difficulty rather quickly. Anyway, put my name, AAA. All right. So on to the next game. We're going to give maybe Zaxxon a try, and we'll see how that plays with the stick. All right, so yeah, as you can tell, I'm really into Tron. I decked the whole thing out with Tron graphics. I could have, on the arcade enclosure, just as easily put Zaxxon graphics on board. You can choose whatever you want to do when you make things like this. It's kind of awesome. So, all right, let's give Zaxxon a try. I'm going to try my hand at it. No guarantees. This could possibly be very challenging for me. It's a whole lot of fun. I always loved this game in the arcade. The funny thing is, as a kid, I played a ton of Zaxxon, and I never played Tron. I actually just never played the game. Never found it, apparently, in my city. Turned out I was missing out a lot. It's a great game. But yeah, I played a lot of Zaxxon. Go down below here. On to the next level. Here we go. Ah, not high enough. Ah, too bad. I think that's probably about it. All right, so another game I want to show you is the other Tron game from the 80s. So we'll give that a try. That's the Discs of Tron game. Again, same idea, stick and spinner are going to be used. Here we go. Kind of interesting how it uses the same music. Ah. That's going to take a little bit of work. fun game. I think I could definitely keep getting better at that. But now, what I want to do is I think I'd like to move on to the PlayStation 3 just to show off a couple of the games that you can play on that system. Okay, so now I'm downstairs. I got my PS3 up and the trackball actually works in the menus. Won't work in the games unless you have some sort of special adapter for keyboard, mouse connected. But it's just direct connected. Also, the joystick will work. And this game, Tron Evolution, is what we're going to try. So here we go. Make sure I remember which button is X. There's X. All right, so that wasn't the light cycle level, obviously. I think if we go back, let's see if we can get back, we can go to the light cycle level. Let's try the 360 version of Tron Evolution. We're in a stage right now where we get to watch the light cycle. Uh-oh. All right, let's move on to some of the classic games on the PS3, PS1 games. All right, we got Raiden Project up on the screen here, and this is Raiden 2. Let's get it started. So we're going to play a little Bosconian, I think, today. Should be a good time. It always ends well when Miss Pac-Man shows up, doesn't it? All right, here we go. Oh.
Lights off. Alive.
All right, so we got Arcade's Greatest Hits, the Midway Collection 2. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what kind of games we've got here. Joust 2. Root Beer Tapper. Splat. Spy Hunter. Blaster. Oh, missed. Oh. Whoa. Wow, that's actually a pretty fun game. Blaster, thumb up. Great for the Tron stick too. I like the feel of it. I definitely had a great time on that one. Okay, we got our PS4 up and running, and I'm going to be putting in Atari Flashback Classics Volume 2, which has a number of great classic games that'll be fun to play with this Tron joystick. If you're noticing, the Tron joystick has a lit up stick. On this console, the PS4, the ball's not lit up. Why is that? Well, if you noticed, back when I was playing the 360 with it, the Tron Evolution game, it wasn't lit up there either. And that's because if you have both of them hooked up through the internal USB hub that's in here, and they're connected together, they're both lighting up, for some reason it won't be recognized. I think it may have something to do with the adapter I'm using for the PS4, the adapter I'm using for the Xbox 360. For some reason it doesn't like that USB hub. But when I have it direct connected to the stick and the buttons, then it works. By the way, the adapter I used, again, is the Cronus Max Plus, and I've talked about that in other videos of mine, so definitely check those videos out where I discuss those. All right, let's play the game. All right. a lot of great games on this disc. So if you're into asteroids, let's go back to the main menu just so I can show you the games again. All right. Yeah, if you're into asteroids, there's a couple versions of asteroids on the disc. So much fun to be had. Now, on our next episode, I'm going to be showing you some new things about the Atari 5200 that's actually pretty awesome. These are some new controllers that are now made compatible with the 5200 with just a couple of adapters. Actually, one adapter will get you really into Genesis controllers, and by adding a Genesis compatible receiver, which is made by 8-Bit Do, or 8-Bit Do, you can actually get PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Wii remotes, and then Wii U controllers, and also Switch controllers compatible with your Atari 5200. So I'll be showing that off, and I'll also be showing an extended adapter that's wireless that will get GameCube controllers, Nintendo 64 controllers, the Wii Classic controller, and maybe a couple others working, maybe Super NES, maybe NES, working on the 5200. So this is all new, and I'm very excited to be able to share this with you on our next episode. So do stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you like classic games, definitely give me a subscribe and definitely give me a thumb up or a like. I do appreciate those. And feel free to make a comment below. I definitely always like the feedback and like to participate in the comments on my channel. So, all right, that's it for today. We'll see you guys in the very near future. Take care.